Hello, my fellow YouTubians, and welcome back to my page. This is Fallen here. And today I would like to talk about evidence. So let me first start off by saying esoteric, unfalsifiable personal experience does not count as evidence for anything. I say this because there are few breeds of people who believe it does, and you may encounter them rather frequently. The first breed of people are those who claim to have seen UFOs. If they saw a UFO in the sky that disappeared, of course it's a UFO. It's unidentified, hence the fucking U part. So in calling a UFO, they've already said they have no idea what it is. So without even telling it, they just put the cause of the UFO sighting being aliens just as equal as anything else, like a weather balloon or a stealth plane or a drone or some shit. There's also a group that falls within the UFO sighting group, and these are people who have claimed to have been abducted by aliens. You can tell these people that the next time they're aboard the alien ship, just fondle one of the aliens real quick. Get their DNA or any sample of them possible. Steal an alien ashtray or some shit and bring it back. Anything. Otherwise, wave them away as if they told you, "I was abducted," while they were sitting on their couch in their underwear with a belt tied around their neck, masturbating profusely, because that was probably the cause of their hallucinations in the first place. The next group of people are those who believe that DMT, weed, mushrooms, acid, and that weird ayahuasca plant are all ways how to see God or hear the voice of God or get in touch with the universe or whatever. Okay, I agree. Those things bring comfort, joy, and peace of mind to the people that do them. The drugs take control of their senses and alter their state of mind to the point where they no longer feel connected to reality, but by no means are they in a different dimension. Hallucinations and senses going apeshit are not proof of anything whatsoever, except that the Grateful Dead is an amazing band. I use things for meditation and feeling spiritually connected, whatever the hell that means, but never do I assert that I go to some new realm that nobody has ever reached. That would be so dishonest to those that I present that claim to, as I have no idea how drugs actually affect the brain. It just does. The chemical could very well be transporting the electricity in your brain into another dimension, but the reality of the situation is nobody wants to listen to some shroomer claiming to talk to God every time he goes off and poisons himself. Ugh. This next group are just the generally heavily religious people that claim to have been touched by the hand of God or blessed by miracles. Alright, the first thing these people like to say is, "Look at the trees, look at the newborn babies. There has to be a creator for all the beauty in the world. It couldn't have just come here naturally. So many things go wrong in the world, and yet the miracle of life is so precious," or something similar. Right, well, first off, the world used to be a hot, steaming, gaseous shithole that couldn't support life for millions of years, and even when it could, something incredibly shitty would happen out of nowhere, hence the 5 major mass extinctions. But if that doesn't suit you, how about the fact that according to your holy book, chances are your God is the #1 cause of death? Let's pretend you're God for a moment. You're sitting there with an empty canvas, ready to create the universe. Would you make a bunch of creations that don't get along well with each other, set up a bunch of tests and trials for them to earn your love, and if they don't love you, you throw them in a boiling lake for eternity? Not 365 days, not 10 years, a boiling lake for all of eternity. Well, congrats. You're what most people would call a shitty person. And that's what your God is if he or she or they have a place where you're sent to be tortured forever. This is like the Love Olympics. Jump through these hoops, stand on one knee, and do 15 Hail Marys, all for my love. And if you don't, well, fire. Lots of it. North Korea. It sounds a lot like North Korea. Not to allude to Hitchens, but come on. And if these people use the "I know God speaks to me" line, then tell them which one. Thor, Shiva, Mithras, Christ, Muhammad, and I bet you'll get the funniest look you've ever seen. But be dead serious in tone. This helps enlighten people that their religion isn't the only one. Then, when they go on their little Christ triade, remind them that there's over 4,000 different religions and 10,000 some gods that have been made up, and why should we believe in theirs? Because of a holy book? Bhagavad Gita, the Torah, Kojiki, Pearl of Great Price, or whatever. They all come with one. What's the point? And the common response, I guess, would be, Jesus died for your sins. Well, that sucks. I didn't ask him to. That's terrible. He did that so he could absolve your sins. Thanks, but if there's still evil in the world, he kind of died for nothing. Now dare you, even if he were fake, that's something pretty noble that you shouldn't make fun of. Yeah, an omniscient, omnipotent creator of the universe sending himself down to earth to sacrifice himself to save his creations from a situation he created in the first place makes a lot of fucking sense. My bad, you're definitely right. It seems like the argument is already kind of won for the skeptic in the majority of all these situations, as the default position to take is to ask for proof of something before believing in it. And that's how we've come to understand the natural world around us. And to posit something extra that's supernatural requires some form of reasoning or evidence. Right now, the reasoning is matter cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be transformed. So the second a creator is beckoned, something extra is being added to our universe that we have no evidence for. I feel like that's the number one fundamental thing that people forget. Matter can't be made. We believe that all matter was contained in some form of super dense singularity before the Big Bang and was released during it. Kind of like a ping pong ball with a bunch of sulfur and shit in it. The sulfur gets lit, quantum fluctuations in gravity, and boom. Ping pong ball bursts into flame like our universe that was too overreactive and hot for anything at all to happen for the first few million years. I mean, like, with all this, I hope people's arsenal is a little bit more sharpened to prepare them for these breeds of people that are becoming a little bit more and more abundant every day as they begin to speak out about their religions being destroyed by science, even though that's their problem and the world shouldn't have to slow down for anything people believe to be true. You know, you can't run our world set in reality based off of faith or off of what you think a supernatural deity is thinking at the time. Faith gets you nowhere. I fucking hate that term. Faith is a champion term, and its definition is literally a belief in something without any evidence supporting it whatsoever. Yet that's the phrase that I always hear passed back and forth between Christians like it's just the greatest thing since sliced bread. Do you have faith? Oh, faith in Jesus is the best thing in the world. I have faith in God's plan. I have faith that Jesus will save me a fucking parking spot tomorrow. I don't know. If anyone uses that word around you, just laugh at them. Just like point your head to the ground and just start laughing to yourself, because that word is ridiculous. Faith, it's an anti-intellectual word. You know, I don't have faith that the sun will come up tomorrow. I know the sun will come up tomorrow because I have trusted it every single day of my life, and I have seen it come up every single day of my life, and thus I can safely make that prediction based on all the empirical evidence that I have that the sun has come up for every single day of my life. Your God, I have not seen one single time. But yeah, hopefully this just gives you a little something to think about when you run into these weird-ass situations. You know, maybe you can make the other person feel just as awkward as they're trying to make you feel. You know, and always ask for evidence and never feel fazed, never look fazed, never act fazed by anything that they do. You know, people are weird, people are strange, fucking deal with it, pry at them. If they make a point, ask them why they have that standpoint, ask them why they have that belief. And you don't have to be an asshole in any kind of way. You know, it's called debate. Be nice to people. But get to the bottom of things if you really need to. Don't let that stop you. You know, religion is pretty much on the same fucking pedestal as politics, since it gets so interwoven with it frequently. You know, thus make fun of it like you would fucking George Bush. Anyway, guys, this has been Fallen, and this has been my input. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, share, do what you gotta do. Peace out.